A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
This is the Daredevil series, only on Turn 200.
Welcome to the Irish Hills of Michigan. It's round number 11 of Season 6 of the Daredevil series. Just for the third time in series history, we find our way to 2009 Michigan International Speedway. And what a lovely day it's going to be on the 2-mile D-Oval. The Daredevil traditional 66-lapper is locked and loaded and ready to go here in just 2 minutes' time. Welcome aboard, everybody. It's Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson. Partner, welcome back to Michigan. We've had 2 3 to 4 wide finishes here at this speedway and never fails to disappoint.
Certainly not.
To disappoint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
I heard you. I think everybody knows what you were trying to say. Yeah, no, I mean, this is classic Daredevil here. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Michigan is consistently on the schedule for a reason. This is OG Daredevil stuff here, and we got some drivers that are looking to get after it here tonight.
Well, the point standings are going to paint a bleak picture. As there's not a whole lot of drivers here and not a lot of important drivers here either in terms of the point standings.
Yeah, yes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the points. After Bristol last week, James Watson is atop the point standing still, and you'll notice there is a lot of red on the points marker here this week. That is because all of those drivers are mathematically out of the championship. Here's the thing, though. Brody Gunter over a full race outside of being able to reach James Watson. Matt Schlosser 2 races outside of being able to reach James Watson. those two drivers are not here tonight. James Watson is the only driver left that mathematically can win the championship that is present tonight, which then means he basically wins the championship if he starts tonight. So there you go. He will be your champion this season. There's no doubt.
Brody will definitely be rooting for an 8th place finish here for James Watson to have any sort of semblance of hope at getting back into the title fight next week at Mount Panorama. But Matt Schlosser, unless he shows up in the next 20 seconds, he is out of it, and he's barely clinging to life as it is. I do want to point out, though, these drivers have been told from the start of the season, it's been reiterated tonight, the top 8 drivers in the standings at the end of the season each get a pick on next season's schedule. So that is definitely something that a lot of these drivers that seemingly don't have a shot at the championship, or definitely don't have a shot at the championship, will be playing for all season long. And 5 are out. And Christopher Hill, Kyle Allen, and Christopher Kresge out for the season with computer issues. That only leaves us with 8 drivers, but these 8 drivers are going to get after it here tonight at Michigan. Each of them have a great opportunity to take a victory here this evening. Dakota DeMade is not on the pole. It's Paul Ellison. Last week's race winner from Bristol has beat Mr. Daredevil pole himself. 82 will start on the outside pole. How about James Watson starting in the 3rd position? Garrett Rainey to his outside for the 2nd time this season. Rainey will be in the Daredevil Series lineup. Corey Rutherford and Joshua Rutherford will be on the inside and outside of row number 3, and Victor Aldrich and Zach M. Spacker, the rest of the starting lineup. As these drivers roll around Michigan, Matt Williamson, it seems like a lovely day. Up north in Diet Canada in Michigan. Well, what do you got for the folks here for the Daredevil Series?
Diet Canada. Wow. How dare you put that on Canada, honestly? Let's take a look at the weather conditions here. It is a hot boy here tonight. 120 degrees here at Michigan. That is quite warm. I think drivers will be looking to take care of the temperature in these tires a little bit more than they typically would here tonight, and especially with the high speeds that we will be running here tonight. Everybody's going to have to try and keep those tires as cool as possible. 66 laps around Michigan here tonight. No fast repairs as always. We do have the possibility of needing potentially 2 pit stops here tonight. Typically our 2-mile tracks are 60 laps, and usually that's fairly close on the fuel number, so it'll be interesting to see if everybody is able to make it on just 1 stop here tonight or not.
What a big win it was for Paul Ellison last week at Bristol, and he has a chance to double up. Double your fun, double your win count. 55 and 82. Dakota DeMade on the front row. The Daredevils are on the move in Michigan, and they are loose on the power right off the rip. These things are trimmed out. The minimum amount of downforce allowable on these cars. But now that they're up to speed, they'll be going 190 plus all the way around, and it's not going to matter all that much. Ellison leads the bunch. Good start for Joshua Rutherford from 6th to 2nd on the opening circuit. Watson hanging tough in 3rd. Dakota DeMade all the way back to the 7th position as Ellison leads the opening lap.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be crazy important here, especially with this many cars to have track position. I think once we get closer to pit stops, you'll see drivers try and make their way more towards the front of the field, maybe start making some moves to make sure that they don't lose the draft once the pit cycle starts. But, I mean, Joshua Rutherford has been, continuing to progress all season long. At the end of last season was progressing quite well also. I mean, he's seemingly put in some practice time in with this car in particular, and he has been running very, very well. So getting up to 2nd on that opening lap, he is looking to go for it here tonight.
You look at the drivers yet to win in the Daredevil Series. I think it's an even 4-4 split. Drivers that have won and drivers that have not in this field. Actually, it's a 3-5 split, winners to non-winners. Ellison now joins that bunch with James Watson and, of course, Dakota DeMade. Watson and DeMade, both series champions. Field is all now nose to tail. There was a big split there between Zach Emspacher and Corey Rutherford. It was about 0.6 of a second down the back straightaway, and by the time they got back to the D oval, it was closed right back up. The magic number here is right around a second. You don't want to fall any further back of the car in front of you than that. Otherwise, you are going to be in trouble. Calm, cool, and collected start. As for the moment, you're going to be watching just the laps tick away. I would imagine maybe some of these drivers a little bit further back. We heard it more at Dover than anywhere else this season. Maybe a little bit of fuel save. I was shocked when we got out of Dover. Not only to see Christopher Hill run out of fuel coming out of the final corner, but multiple drivers have to say that they had to save.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not something that we've really, at least from my recollection, have run into too much previously in previous seasons. But for whatever reason, I mean, I don't know. I know this car has had an update, but shouldn't have been to anything that really affects fuel mileage, I wouldn't think. So, I mean, yeah, it's certainly been a bigger topic this season than it has any other season to this point. So, I mean, that two-stopper definitely could be in play more tonight than it ever has been.
Now, minimal drag on this car. No wing wickers to slow these cars down any. And, of course, only 2 degrees on the front wing and the back wing. As you're able to see a little bit further back, some of these drivers suck up to one another. But again, nobody's really trying to go anywhere right now. Still early in the going with lap number 8 on the board and an extra 6 laps to contend with from what we normally have on the 2 miles. Here's Corey Rutherford jumping out of line. And just like that, he will go from 4th to 2nd. And all of a sudden, the scramble is on. Emspacher and Rainey going to double it up at the front. And now the top 6 are 2 abreast each. Emspacher will get back from the top down to the bottom and get in line behind Paul Ellison. So Watson going to get shuffled out. Here is Garrett Rainey taking it to the top rope. 3 wide for the lead. As Rutherford rolls out of it right on Ellison's right side tires. That could have been bad. Rutherford in the middle there, led across the stripe. Now it's Rainey with no help. The one thing we've noticed in our 2 previous series races here with the Lotus 79 on the Legacy Michigan, the middle line with a big pack seems to be where you want to be. Not the bottom, not the top, but the middle. is an OP way to get around here. Garrett Rainey able to hang by himself here with not much help. Tells me we might be in for a little bit of the same, even with some smaller field count this evening.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming to the line. I mean, if you're trying to be first across the line, I think that you just get a good surge of momentum before you get to the line there on that outside. If we had more cars, I think, just a regular lap by lap, that third lane, they really get a big surge of momentum out of the top side. But I don't think there's enough cars here tonight for that to really be viable. So I think, like you just mentioned, I think that middle lane probably is going to be the place to be.
There's one thing I know about Garrett Rainey is that he wants to go fast, and he is going fast. And his notebook is very limited for the Daredevil series. Made the start at our season opener in Indianapolis. Outside of that, he helped us with a setup test at Dover. And that is his experience in the Lotus 79. Really just a couple hours in this car. So he is, if anything else, going fast and taking notes. Elson now the only driver on the bottom. Everybody up to the middle down the backstretch. And then
I guess they're listening.
Down low. Yeah, maybe. We know Joshua Rutherford is listening.
And there you see Rainey out in front of Ellison across the line again.
Again, pulls back down into line for just a split second. Get a little bit of a run down the hill. Get some draft and pull right back out and try and complete a slingshot here. Man.
Yeah, that was tight.
Fairly weathered track surface. It's pretty hot. Not Venom Truck Series track surface temperatures, but, it's fairly warm.
It's pretty warm. It was 120 degrees when we were taking the green flag here today.
Tire temperature very much going to be a factor, as much as it usually is anyway. Hopefully Don Golden's enjoying this. Hopefully whoever you are, wherever you are, you're having a good time with us here this evening. Thanks for watching the Daredevil series on Turn 200. Still early in this one, 51 laps to go. It's a couple of Venom Truck Series drivers dueling it out front. Garrett Rainey and Paul Ellison wheel to wheel. And Zach Amsbacher in another start here with the Daredevil series. I want to say this is his third or fourth appearance in his first season with the series. Pretty consistently inside the top 5 in his appearances. And off to a good start here already in Michigan.
Part of you see pretty much everybody down here on the bottom lane. Part of that could be some fuel save strategy as well, because Rainey will be burning more fuel on the top here, taking the longer way around. I know it seems minimal, but if we are really that close on the number, that could come into play here.
Nobody is punching that hole for him, and nobody is sort of closing that bubble up to the back of him either. So he is in max fuel usage here. Thought maybe for a split second he was going to get clear there down the back straightaway, but not quite.
If some of these other drivers are watching this, trying to take some notes here, Rainey 4 times out of 5 is ahead of Ellison at the line on this second lane. So I think there is some notes to be taken here for when we get to the finish of the race and you're trying to figure out where you want to be on this racetrack.
Now, it sounded like somebody was hitting the clutch or accidentally downshifted, and a huge pocket opened up in front of James Watson. So now that he's closed it back up, I wonder if maybe he's gaming the fuel a little bit or maybe just a miss input. And happy to still have a drivetrain after it.
It was a miss input.
There you go. Lap 21 on the board, 20 complete. It stops in the next 5 to 10, and that will really tell the tale of what we think is going to be a 2-stop race. A little bit more separation through the pack now. Top 2 have a quarter of a second back to Amsbacher. Watson with 3/10 back to Corey Rutherford. And if we are looking for drivers that could make it on just one stop, I think your best bet is going to be Dakota DeMade and Victor Aldrich. They have been riding at the tail of this field, just hanging out.
Well, Garrett Rainey has now pulled into line as well, so I'm wondering if maybe potentially realizing there needs to be a little save going on here.
I think it might be a little too late for that one for Rainey. Better late than never, I suppose.
I mean, he had a run out of 4 if he wanted to take it to the outside again, and he did not. I mean, he's looking content to sit behind Ellison now.
We have some pretty brutal pit road entries in the Daredevil series. I would say this is not one of them.
No, I mean, this one's...
It's easy.
Yeah, this one's definitely more wide open. You have more room to work with, a little bit more of a runway. And because it's a 2-mile track, the speed on pit road is a little bit longer as well than it would be for, say, 1.5 miles. So there is definitely some items working for the drivers here on pit road entry in Michigan. But like you said, it's one thing to be a little bit easier, but it's another thing to take advantage of that and maybe make a mistake trying to really push it down onto that pit road.
It's no Gateway, Bristol, Dover, Mount Panorama. But you're right, it's gettable, and that sometimes is the issue.
It's enticing, one might say.
There you go.
It's inviting to make a mistake.
Another gap here, open it up back to Joshua Rutherford. Now he will close it pretty quickly. I think that should be the big sell here for the end of this race, not just for the drivers a little bit further back, but for the viewers as well. 0.3 of a second, and he swallowed it up in, a set of turns. So these are big runs that these drivers are going to get. Look at this. Rainey going to get underneath of Ellison out of 2 and push the 55 up the track. Rainman came to play, and he's got the lead.
I like it. Not sitting back and letting it come to you here. Big question is that fuel number. Maybe it's just too far gone at this point.
Amsbacher backs way off down the backstretch. And they stretch it to lap 33. 28 going on the board this time. I mean, speeds are still high. You know, sometimes it's hard to gauge when everybody has space like this, but everybody's still clocking in into the turns at over 190 miles an hour. Paul Ellison going to hit 200 into turn number 3 as he gets uprooted by Amsbacher, who's going just a little bit faster. 7 into second. And he's got to run on Rainey. Paul Ellison over the radio says he's pitting this time, and that tells me we are 2 stopping.
Yep, we are well short. If everybody else is going to... I mean, we heard other drivers say earlier this year that... I want to say it was at Gateway that it was very difficult to save any amount of fuel. I mean, if that's the case here as well, everybody should have to come here in the next couple of laps, and that would set the stage for 2 stops.
But also Paul Ellison leading most of this race out by himself. Only a couple laps in the draft behind Garraini. But Garraini says he's pinning this time. And looks like Zach Amsbacher is... Oh, no, that was Garraini. Never mind. 2 silver and black cars.
Very conservative for Rainey. He might be in jeopardy of losing the draft with that pit stop.
That just comes with the territory. Not many green flag pits to tripped road or to pit trip. Oh my God, I give up.
Trips to pit road.
It doesn't have a lot of experience getting to pit road in this car under green.
Correct.
Joshua Rutherford says he's pinning this time. So is Zach Amsbacher. Not quite going to make it to halfway. Tantalizingly close. Amsbacher flying it onto pit road.
Oh!
No, he's punished.
That is going to be day over.
That is a huge shot for the 747. And a speeding penalty to boot. I think Victor Aldrich, who came in as well, went off the track into the grass. I think everybody else is coming this time. Just 2 laps short of making it to halfway.
Here we go. Watson.
Rutherford wide. Watson makes it to speed. Corey Rutherford will not. And he is going to be in trouble here.
Yeah, he's going to try
to get disqualified.
I think he should be able to go far enough without getting well. He's towed now. Boy, this was not a successful trip for a lot of drivers here.
No, that was rough. I think more for your theory of it just being gettable. Those drivers, they got.
I mean, Watson seemed like he really pushed it. He should be in a good spot here, I would imagine.
The mate is not going to be too terribly far behind him. We'll see where they come out relative to the rest of the pack.
Pack just now heading into turn 1.
That's Ellison, Rutherford, Rainey, and Aldrich together.
Oh, I think DeMate is going to be too far behind Watson to catch a tow. We might be playing the catch-up game again here that we've seen a couple times this season.
Yeah, DeMade 2 seconds behind Watson. As we get to the next timing loop, Ellison, Rutherford, Rainey, and Aldridge only 1 second behind DeMade, so they will at least pick up the 82. But can they all get up to James Watson with another pit stop to go? Worth pointing out, Zach Amspacher and Corey Rutherford both back on the track, but will be laps down and damaged.
Yeah, I mean, Amspacher should have a lot of damage. That was a hard shot to the inside of pit lane. They are making up some time on Watson here. And by they, I really mean DeMade is, even being over half a second out in front of the rest of the group right now.
Ellison just clocked a 37.3 in DeMade's toe. And that is over half a second quicker than what James Watson ran last time around by himself. So I think Watson may be dragging because he is way off the pace. So he's going to get swallowed up here pretty quickly.
Yeah, maybe trying to get into a fuel save situation.
Maybe just thinking back to the Brody Gunter at Pocono situation and the heartbreak of being only 2 laps away from fending off the whole field by yourself and then ending up finishing 6th. Or maybe remembering his own heartbreak from Indianapolis. Just saying, I will not get hurt again. Or he wants to save some fuel. Because there's one thing for sure that does suck. Having to pit inside of 5 laps to go, and that's where these drivers will be. Assuming there's no caution. Well, while we got a second, quick look ahead of things coming up here on turn 200. Is Watson going to get shuffled out here by Paul Ellison? Tomorrow night, Max V Chase continues at Auto Club. Favorite of the channel. Excited to get there at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday night, Dirt 200 Special is at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. We'll catch you there for some dirt trucking at 9 o'clock Eastern. Tuesday night, Venom Truck Series is at Legacy Phoenix. We'll catch you at 08 Phoenix at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Daredevil Series will hit Mount Panorama next week. Good old Mount Panorama racing down under for the first time in series history. 8 o'clock Eastern, as always.
Chance of rain also.
Indeed, chance of rain.
Not guaranteed, but there's a chance.
That is the new rule, and it was a rule that was in place this season. We gave drivers the opportunity a couple weeks ago to review the rules for next season, and they overwhelmingly voted to keep the open forecast for the road course races next season. So always a chance that it will rain. We'll try not to thumb the scales. Whatever the first forecast says, if it gonna rain, it gonna rain. Dakota DeMade pitting right now.
Interesting.
That is quite interesting.
I mean, shorter stop, putting less fuel in, and we have seen that sometimes a single car is faster than a cars in a line at times. That is a gutsy move, but I like it. I mean, he's a driver that has been clamoring for a win here. And trying to use some strategy to get it.
So DeMade will rejoin the race here on lap 41. Honestly, won't be too far ahead of the pack. I don't think close enough to sniff a draft, but if they can get it together, they might be able to catch him. Meanwhile, the pack is going to ingest Corey Rutherford here. Rutherford with less damage, but again went sliding off a pit road entry and had to tow back to the pits to not get disqualified for driving backwards to get onto pit road. Driving backwards in the Daredevil series, that sounds like an interesting idea.
Book it.
We'll leave it at that.
You're the booker, brother.
So Rutherford leading this line, but he is 2 laps down. Or make that he is 1 lap down, about to go a second lap if he gets passed by Ellison. Ellison the leader again after taking his first career victory last week at Bristol. Led the most laps tonight at Michigan. Joshua Rutherford in second, Garrett Rainey in third. Watson and Aldrich in the lead pack. DeMade should be good to the end on fuel, but he's well separated from the rest of the pack. Looking at his lap times, he is faster than the lead pack by a couple of tenths. This may work out beautifully.
The next question is, does anybody pull the plug on this and alter strategy once they start seeing lap times?
And to point out as well, DeMade was already over half a second ahead of the pack when he came in. And he's pulled another 1/10.5 on the lead pack by himself. I think if any of these drivers are looking, they might be in a bit of bother right now.
Yeah, I think the problem is you'd have to like split off in a pair and maybe go for the leapfrog strategy, or maybe get 3 cars. It's tough to do with a big pack like this, but you can't just pull off. I mean, there's not a lot of folks out here that have a lot of ties to each other. I mean, obviously the Rutherford boys do, but I mean, Corey is a lap down with some damage, so I mean, that could be altering the speed of this group as well. There's a lot at play here.
It's worth pointing out before maybe it goes off the rails one direction or the other, Dakota DeMade has been on the wrong side of the strategy multiple times this season. And so far, it seems like it's working out quite nicely for him. Another 1/10.5 last time around.
And another thing to mention, he is on the lead lap, so even if a caution comes out, it's not like he's going to get trapped or anything. I mean, he is in a good spot here.
Joshua Rutherford thought maybe he was going to get taken over there by Garrett Rainey. Rainey tucks back into line. So we continue to see pretty consistently a 1/10.5. DeMade is quicker by himself than this line of cars.
To a lot of oval racers, that's such a foreign concept.
I mean, it is weird. It is very weird. Zach Emsbacher is trying to call for a debris caution. Unfortunately, I don't see what he's seeing, and it is not raining either. I appreciate the effort, though.
I mean, these laps have clicked off very quickly here, Tommy. We're only 16 laps to go now with a pit stop looming for this group. DeMade
Zach
continues.
Emsbacher did just have an issue, but he's going the right direction. His front wheels are not, though. I mean, DeMade is putting in good laps. See how efficiently these drivers get on and off pit road as well. I mean, he got to come in by himself. Some of these drivers, I would imagine, will be pitting on the same lap.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's a little surprising that nobody, came in as soon as they saw the lap times that DeMade was running. I thought for sure maybe a couple would come down, but they've decided to stick to this. I just don't see how it's going to work.
Well, that was as close as it's been, and it was 300ths in favor of Dakota DeMade.
I don't care how quick their pit stop is. DeMade has been able to make up, I mean, at least a second, if not even a little more.
All right, Garani says he's coming this time.
Well, this will be the big telltale sign here.
Rainey a little bit more aggressive this time, but still pretty conservative in the grand scheme of things. And he was an early pitter last time. Only Ellison got to pit road before him. And with 13 to go. Now, on the flip side of this, Rainey can take less fuel and might make up some time that way. But, I mean, DeMade's already at the start-finish line, and Rainey has just started rolling to the end of pit road. Yeah, there goes Dakota.
And this is going to end up being a 4-second gap by the time Rainey gets up to speed.
The other thing of concern is that Dakota DeMade has been out by himself this whole time. Did he leave himself enough room in terms of fuel calculation? Here comes Paul Ellison.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yes. Oh, Corey Rutherford and Joshua Rutherford both coming in as well. Corey awfully loose, but gets it corralled.
I mean, that would be an all-timer for DeMade to get the strategy right, to be this far ahead, and then not have enough
run
fuel.
Out of gas.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, he's 4 seconds ahead of Garrett Rainey.
And by all-timer, I mean all-time Dakota DeMade disaster.
Dakota disaster.
Look at this.
Yeah, he's through.
I mean, he's even further ahead on these drivers than he was on Rainey, I think.
Now look at the counter here from Watson and Aldrich. They are going to go as long as possible, and they are bump drafting. They are trying to claw back any amount of time that they can.
Man, they got to be careful. I know Watson is pretty much the king in this car, and he can do it well. But I mean, you saw it right there. That was close. That was tight. It is very, very difficult to bump draft in these cars now. much more difficult than it was a couple seasons ago.
DeMade is 3 1/4 seconds ahead of Joshua Rutherford. But Rutherford, Ellison, and Rainey all came out together, with Corey Rutherford as well. Aldrich leading Watson. They need to make their final stop. DeMade out on Dakota Island on the alternate strategy that has worked very well to this point.
I mean, DeMade
a couple
still
of question marks still remain.
Yeah, DeMade still made half a tenth on Aldrich and Watson that last time around.
It is at least closer. And again, Aldrich and Watson will have the opportunity to take less fuel on their stop. That is the first time that Aldrich and Watson, or anybody, have been faster than Dakota DeMade since DeMade pit. They are trying to swap in the second group. Rutherford going to the back. Ellison goes on point. I don't even know where to look. There's so much happening all at once.
Curious how far these two are going to be able to take it. It shouldn't be much further. I would think they'd have to be in the next lap or two.
Could you imagine a world where James Watson is able to save somehow?
I just don't see it. I mean, crazier things have certainly happened. Oh, Watson is going to pull down underneath of Aldrich now. I'm wondering if this means Watson will be coming down pit road this time.
Zach Amsbacher makes it to the pits without issue. And here comes Watson and Aldrich.
Oh, Aldrich in the grass. Definitely not optimal there, but he made it.
So the race is on.
The Rutherford, Ellison, Rainey group has made up some time on DeMade here.
Inside of 3 seconds, they need to get inside of 1. But will DeMade be occupied with Watson and Aldrich momentarily? They are rolling to the end of pit road. DeMade is at the start-finish line. It's going to be close.
Watson's certainly better off than the groups before him.
If anything, he'll be the link in the chain that gets the second group up to the first.
Wow, look at this. I think he's
DeMade
done it.
might just be far enough away. We'll see when they get to the next timing loop, which will be at the start-finish line. We'll know for sure.
I mean, Rainey is still 2 seconds behind Watson.
Watson is in the draft of Dakota DeMade. The race is on. 3 laps to go.
This is unbelievable work by Watson to even get himself into this position.
Second pack is still working hard for an outside opportunity, side by side for the lead with 2 to go.
And look at this. Watson goes to that second lane. That's where we think the winning line is.
Two of the best on offer for the Daredevil series. And if they could get it to the white flag, they'll duke it out for the win. What a gamble for DeMade. And we're about to find out if it's going to pay off. 1 to go. At the stripe, Watson leads by a fraction of a second.
DeMade
winless in season 6. He was clear for a split second. Elects not to take it, and watch Watson roar back to life here around the outside. A drag race in Michigan. DeMade on the inside. Watson on the outside. To the checkers. Watson. 9 1/1000ths of a second. Heartbreak for DeMade. Paul Ellison rounds out the podium. Garrett Rainey in 4th, Joshua Rutherford in 5th, and Watson just snipes it at the end in his second career victory in Michigan.
I mean, you got to feel for Dakota there. I mean, after seeing those other drivers come out that far behind him, he had to have, I mean, in his heart of hearts, I'm sure he thought he had it wrapped.
Watson back on top. And unofficially has wrapped the championship for season 6.
James Watson takes his rightful place in Gatorade Victory Lane.
And we will hope to hear from everybody here momentarily. As we'll definitely hear from Paul Ellison hanging out with us in the chat. I think Dakota probably a little dismayed after this one. We'll see if he hops in, and we'll see if James Watson is working while he's racing. Let's get the full finishing rundown, though. Watson, DeMade, Ellison, your podium finishers. Garrett Rainey will finish a career-best 4th place. Congrats to him. Joshua Rutherford will round out your top 5. Victor Aldrich in 6th. And Zach Amsbacher, Corey Rutherford both running at the end will finish in the 7th and 8th positions. It'll be back-to-back Wednesday night interviews for Paul Ellison, who will finish first last week, 3rd here tonight. And I guess the carousel there at the end sort of lanes on you.
Yeah. I just backed off and hope I get a massive run on them and side draft a little bit and get it, and it worked out, so I'll take it.
I mean, it's almost counterintuition for, truck drivers in particular to be in a line with so many other drivers, have all that energy there, and be outgunned by just one driver that pulls off there all by himself.
Yeah, I don't know, these cars. I don't know if he was holding in 4th gear the whole time. You could keep more speed up by yourself in 4th gear, and if you're drafting, you wanted to go to 5th to get more speed, but then you lost some speed, and I don't know. We just didn't have enough time to figure it out on how to catch them. We needed to try a few things, but yeah, we just didn't work out. Then I had to take more fuel than them because, of course, I got the pole, which was actually that word, and yeah, so I knew whenever they were not passing me that I was done for. So I knew I had to take too much fuel. These cars take forever to fuel. So,
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a good run. Good to get to talk to you again with another podium here tonight. You kind of mentioned that you guys were trying some different things to try and catch up to Dakota there towards the end of the race. I mean, there with like, I don't know, maybe 5 laps to go, you guys did run some quicker laps, maybe 2 or 3 laps in a row there. Did you find something there? It was just a little too late.
Yeah, it's just trying to back off enough to get a really good run to do the leapfrog. But like the Pocono race this year, I was watching. I didn't get to run it, but I got to watch them, and it looked like the drafting to staying in line was faster. And so we tried that for a little bit here, and we were not catching them. So then we tried the leapfrogging, but just backing off, getting yourself to back off far enough and get enough of a run and be able to keep it going and make up time with it. It's a ballet, and you got to nail it just right. We got it for a few laps, but we just couldn't keep it going. 2 laps to go, we're like, all right, we're fighting for third.
Oh, we talked about a photo finish there at the line for Watson and DeMade, but I think you got it on Garrett Rainey there by 2/1000ths of a second. So that's being on your ballet pointer tippy toes there as well.
Yeah, that's what I think. I can't remember what he said it was. I know it was pretty close. Need to go watch that a little bit.
Well, it doesn't get much closer than that. Thanks for racing with us again here tonight and joining us in the booth. Let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Just everybody that I race with out here every Wednesday with Daredevil. Y'all, you and Matt, of course, for putting this on. I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. Glad to do it every week when I can. And my wife Amy for letting me do this. As always, got to thank her and tell her I love her. So y'all have a good one.
Absolutely, partner. Thanks for the time. We'll hope to talk to you again next week.
All right.
All right, let's talk to your second place finisher, Dakota DeMade. Just gets eked out there by 9/1000ths of a second. It's great to get to talk to you once again. I would imagine probably a little bit of disappointment, but I mean, what a killer strategy to even get yourself in this spot in the first place.
Yeah, I'm back. It's been a long time coming. Yeah, I wanted to one stop it and then realized it was just short on fuel and just wanted to do something different and hopefully pull away and almost had it, but except I got caught there at the end by James and had a good little duel, but sometimes you just end up on the losing end of that. So is what it is, but hey, I was there.
It's nice to feel like you pulled one over on him, but I mean, he's just kind of a wizard at that sort of thing and able to fight back. I mean, was there ever a thought to try and get up to the middle or to the outside of him, or were you just going to go tried and true on the bottom?
Yeah, I was definitely thinking, do I want to just give him the spot here and then try on the outside? And I thought, maybe the inside can still stick. And then I couldn't remember if it was what the etiquette was with going below the apron and whatnot. That might have made a difference, but who knows? But coulda, shoulda, woulda is usually how the end of every speedway race goes. So is what it is.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on the good run. I mean, I think the big talking point for the night was, of course, when you pulled down just a few laps after the pit stops to come for your second stop of the night, and you were running faster lap times than the pack. Were you surprised that nobody else kind of pulled off after they realized what lap times you were running to see if they could try their hand at the same strategy?
I think I thought they were all committed to the fuel save there to try and just spend the least amount of time in pit road needed. And my goal was to just draft with one of the Rutherfords that were lapped down, but somehow they ended up in the main pack. So when that happened, when I was just alone, I thought, oh man, I totally made the wrong call here. So I was definitely surprised that running by myself, I was still able to pull away.
Well, it's great to get to talk to you here once again this evening, and hopefully we get you that one better here in the next couple of races. But in the meantime, let's get some shout-outs in.
Yeah, hopefully I'm back in victory lane next couple of weeks, but you never know. But yeah, shout out to Sunset Arctic Games. You guys can check out my games on Steam, Voltic Pistol and Echo Blade. They, I think they're on a Steam sale either next week or the following week. So check those out soon. And a big thank you to my friend Alyssa, who helped me out a lot over the weekend running a showcase in Louisville. So that was really fun. So Yeah.
Alrighty, partner. Thanks as always. Great to get to talk to you once again, and we'll hope to talk to you again next week.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Alrighty. The second time he's won at Michigan, James Watson on the top step by 9/1000ths of a second. Just ekes it out there at the end. It had to put in a lot of work to even be in a position there at the end to catch up to Dakota.
Yeah, I was nervous. I saw him pit early and I realized I'm like, oh man, he could potentially make up some ground because of the fact that he can be full throttle and the rest of us aren't. So the plan was to pit at like 10 to go, but then everyone else pitted, so had to quickly pivot to full throttle and hope to claw back time that way. And thankfully it worked out to where I just had his draft off a corner exit, off a pit exit. And I knew once I got the draft back, it's like, oh boy.
It's nice, Dakota able to run full speed all by himself. Sort of the numbers game may have been with I guess the Venom contingent, if you will, but nice to have somebody that you're very comfortable with, and Victor Aldrich with both of your name on both of your own doors. You're able to work together there quite nicely to get some time back.
Yeah, Victor's been here for so long, and he's one of our best drivers, one of my closest friends. So being able to have him to work with and help us try to get the best result we can for the both of us is huge. And I'm bummed that he wasn't able to join me up here because I thought for sure that he had to take a little more fuel than I did, but I thought for sure that he'd still be able to at least leave ahead of everyone else and still hang on to a podium. So I'm bummed about that for him.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on the race win. I mean, you said it. You got the draft coming off of pit road, and then, you went pretty much immediately there to the second lane. I mean, to the broadcaster's eye, earlier on in the race when Garrett Rainey was running that line, I mean, it seemed like he was just edging out at the start-finish line every lap. I mean, is that something that you had in your notes in the back of your mind? Should that moment arise for you?
No, certainly not. It was pure coincidence that way. You're certainly not airing out some of my secrets to the fine folks watching at home. No, not at all.
Well, I think what helped you this time was that the footage from the first one doesn't exist. But this one is not going anywhere, unfortunately. So next time we come to Michigan, I think everybody will be a little bit clued in on that one. But regardless, good stuff here tonight. Congrats on getting back to victory lane, and let's get some shout-outs in.
Yes, sir. I gotta thank everyone at Team Watson Racing Setups. Use code WATSPIN39 for 10% off checkout. Binks Designs, NRN, Inside Lane Productions, Icon Sim Racing Apparel, Dizzy V Designs, and ZS Designs for putting together my paint schemes. My folks for watching at home. And Megan as well, even though she's working, she's still rooting me on in spirit.
Well, good stuff here tonight. Welcome back to Victory Lane. Congratulations, and we'll hope to talk to you again next week at Mount Panorama.
Yeah, if that happens, that might be one of my greatest sim accomplishments, just surviving that. And is there going to be rain with it at all?
I'm going to hit the forecast button, and whatever the forecast is what it's going to be. So everybody will know as soon as I put the session up here in a second what the forecast is going to be.
Alrighty.
The silence is deafening. Yeah, we'll look forward to that. But appreciate the time here tonight. Congrats on another win, and we'll hope to talk to you next week.
Here's hoping, guys. Cheers.
Alrighty. good night here in Michigan. Fun race with a small field. Man, I really want to get back to having big fields. We'll get there again, hopefully in the next couple of weeks or definitely next season. But even with the small fields we've had this season, man, we've had some electric races, and this one was no different. Good racing and interesting strategy switch-ups as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not super often that we get a Daredevil series race where, strategy is that different. I mean, we had 3 totally different strategies playing out there, especially, I mean, the 2 stops race really, kind of helped egg that on, I suppose. But, typically it's a one-stopper. There's not a whole lot of strategy you can employ other than maybe max fuel save and take less fuel if you can. But, I mean, it was good stuff here tonight from top to bottom. Every driver keeping it interesting out there tonight. So thanks to the drivers that did come out to race with us tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Shout out to Don Golden and Joshua Rutherford for being in the chat. Thank you guys for always tuning in, chatting with us here. Always appreciate it. And, we got some playoff racing or some chase racing for you tomorrow night.
Absolutely. We'll have to see you at 9:15 Eastern at Auto Club for the Max v CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Friday night, we are dirt trucking the NASCAR trucks at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Hope to see you there at 9 o'clock Eastern. Tuesday night, Venom Truck Series is back, and they are headed to their chase in a couple of weeks' time. Phoenix Raceway 2008. So what's on tap on Tuesday night, 8:15 Eastern. And we will get you to Mount Panorama down under in Bathurst next Wednesday night for the first time in series history. Hope to see you back at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Thank you to the drivers as always. Thanks to everybody that was watching. And thank you to Mr. Matt Williamson as well. That's all we got for you here tonight. Until we meet again from Michigan International Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to James Watson on the victory here tonight in Michigan. Have a good night, everybody.